Hello, Creative Gems. Welcome back to Creativity. And if you're new here, I'm Sandy. Today we're going to glam up your wall space with some unusual items from the Dollar Tree. To start, I have a bag of these plastic baseballs. It comes in a set of four, but we'll only need one for today's craft. These baseballs have a number of holes in them, and we're going to go ahead and fill up all but two of the holes. I'm using a hot glue gun to line the inner rim of the holes with some hot glue. And then I'll stick one of these clear acrylic diamond shaped gems inside with the pointy end going inside the hole. The hot glue should cool and dry almost instantly so the gems won't fall out. Just make sure though that you insert the gems in so that they go in straight. I'll go ahead and continue doing that with the rest of the holes, minus the two that I'm actually covering with my index finger and thumb. I chose to cover those two holes that are opposite ends from each other, and I'll show you why in a bit. For now though, we'll continue to cover the rest of the holes with the gems. We'll also want to be careful to not get too messy with the hot glue because when they cool and dry, they'll leave hard clumps on the baseball and we don't want that. The good news is that it's easy enough to use your fingers to scrape any glue residual off. Okay, so with the last of the gems inserted, we are now left with only two holes that are vacant, one at the top and one at the bottom. We're going to set this ball down for a second so I can gather this bucket of flat back gems. These are clear, round, flat back gems of different sizes. I found this bucket at Hobby Lobby, and although you can see the bucket is actually almost full, I've actually had this for a few years now, and even after so many craft projects, I've barely made a dent in this bucket. I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch and lay them out on my little tray. Look how pretty and sparkly these are. They're absolutely beautiful. I've got a bottle of tacky glue here from the Dollar Tree and I'm just applying some of the glue onto the surface of the baseball. And then I'll use my handy dandy gem picker tool to place the gems individually onto the baseball where the tacky glue has been applied. And I know some of you are going to ask, so I'll just let you know that there's a link to it in the description box in case you want to pick one of these gem picker tools up for your own crafts. Or if you do your own nails, maybe you already have one in your stash. And while we work on these gems, I would like to take a moment to thank you for tuning in to today's craft project. If you enjoy glam home decor and DIY crafts on a budget, please let me know by hitting that subscribe button. And if you like what you see today, please give me a thumbs up as well so the YouTube gods will continue to recommend my channel to other viewers like you. Okay, so it did take a while for the baseball to be completely covered with the little round gems. The tacky glue will dry clear so you won't be able to see it even underneath the clear gems. Now the next step is we're going to take a couple of plastic wine glasses from the Dollar Tree. This is a pack of four and you can see they come with these pretty silver bases. I'll be taking two of the cups and removing the bases. The bases are actually great for crafting, but we won't be using them today, so keep them aside for a future craft project. We'll take the rest of the cup though and stick one on either end of the baseball like so. To make sure they don't fall out, I'm going to apply a bit of hot glue to the inner rim of each hole first. Okay, so now with both cups inserted, I'm going to bling the stems out a bit with this trim. This trim has these round little gems that actually match the flat back ones that the baseball is already embellished with. I'll just wrap this around the stem to see how much we'll need and then cut a strip off. Then I'll use a tiny bit of hot glue to secure the trim around the stem. And now I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other stem. And if you're still with me, drop me a comment down below with the word baseball and let me know if you have ever crafted with these Dollar Tree plastic baseballs before. And if you have, I would be curious to know what you have made with them. Okay, so now that this thing is all blinged out, part one of today's craft project is done. We're going to set this aside for a bit so we can start working on part two of today's craft project. So here I have a silver charger plate, also from the Dollar Tree. If you're familiar with my crafts, you'll know that I absolutely love to craft with dollar store charger plates. And since we're going to make a wall decor today, the first thing I'm going to do is flip this plate around and then cut out a metal hook from this Dollar Tree picture frame. I actually already have the cardboard backing of another frame removed, so we'll just go ahead and use that. I'm cutting around the metal hook, making sure to leave at least 8 centimeter or so around the hook, so there's enough surface area to apply some glue to the back before we secure it onto the back of the charger plate. To secure the hook to the plate, I'm going to use a combination of Fix-All as well as hot glue. The Fix-All is like a super glue, it's super strong and will provide a very secure long-lasting hold, while the hot glue will cool and dry instantly so we won't have to wait hours before we hang our wall decor. Once the glue is applied, I'm going to position the hook to the back of the charger plate towards the top center area like so. See how quickly the hot glue has cooled? I can hold on to the metal hook and lift up the charger plate without it detaching from the hook. Next comes the fun part of this craft. I picked up these 2 floating shelves from the dollar store. They even come with 2 screws each, but we won't be needing them. I'll go ahead and remove the plastic so we can take a closer look at the shelves. The shelves are made of some sort of thick plastic and the packaging says they're 8.6 inches across and 4 inches in length. The packaging also says they can hold up to 5 pounds. I think they look pretty nice, but we won't really be using these as shelves per se, although I guess we could if we really wanted to. I'm actually going to secure these onto our charger plate, one on each end of the plate. I've got one shelf that I'll position so that the screw holes face down towards one end of the charger plate like so. This first one is going to be positioned upside down and the other one right side up on the other end of the charger plate. To secure each of these shelves to the charger plate, I'll be using a good amount of Fix-All, but I'm only going to apply the Fix-All to the areas of the charger plate that will make direct contact with the shelves. Now I'm ready to position the shelf onto the plate. If you see any residual Fix-All oozing out onto the plate, wipe it away immediately with a cloth. Now, one thing to note is that the Fix-All will need several hours to cure, so if you need to reposition the shelf on the plate, go ahead and do that. I actually had to reposition mine a few times until I got it perfectly straight and the charger plate perfectly centered. And once you're happy with the positioning, leave it alone and start working on the second shelf. So I ended up leaving this overnight and now the Fix-All has fully cured and both shelves are firmly secured onto the charger plate. I'll just show you so you can see how the shelves are positioned in case you want to make this as well. Okay, so now some of you might think this piece is done, but if you're familiar with my crafts, some of you may know that the craft is never done until you have blinged it out. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I have these glass gems that are absolutely beautiful that I've been wanting to craft with. They have a self-adhesive backing that is actually really sticky, so we won't even need to mess around with any more glue. I found these online and got a few rolls of them for my crafts. There's 3 rows of the glass gems, and take a look at the facets because under the light they really shimmer brilliantly. What I'm going to do is cut these to match the size of the shelf, and we'll actually need 2 rows, and I think they'll fit perfectly. And by the way, if you like these glass gem embellishments, you'll find a link to it along with my other favorite embellishments down in the description box. Next, I'm going to take some silver chrome washi tape and place a strip of it right beside the 2 rows of glass gems. Because of the slight reflective finish of the washi tape, it actually gives this shelf almost a metal look to it, and it actually matches perfectly with the silver finish of our charger plate. And for the next piece of embellishment, you'll likely recognize this beautiful silver rhinestone trim if you have seen any of my other home decor crafts. And that's because it's also one of my favorite embellishments to craft with. The trim can be cut to size, and once you peel away the backing, the trim is actually self-adhesive, so you don't even need any glue to adhere it. Now you'll notice that I'm only applying the embellishments to the front of each shelf. That's just so we don't make this craft tutorial too long. But if you want to go all out, you could actually continue embellishing the sides of the shelves as well. After all, you know what I always say, the more bling the better. Am I right? Let me know down in the comments if you think more bling is better or if you think that less is more. Now, finally, for the last piece of embellishment, I have these mini mirror tiles that I found at the Dollarama, but they also sell these same mini mirror tiles in rolls online. The mini mirror tiles are self-adhesive, and you can also cut these to size, so I'll go ahead and measure out the numbers of rows that will fit onto this shelf and then cut it to size. And when we peel away the wax backing, see how sticky these tiles are? I'll go ahead and place this onto the flat surface of the shelf. But first, I'm going to double check which way this wall piece will be hung by checking the back of the charger plate to see which end the metal hook is located. Okay, so now that we know where the hook is, we can go ahead and place the mini mirror tiles onto the bottom shelf. And here is the final look for our wall decor. I'll show you in a sec what we can do to dress this up so that it's not only pretty but also functional. Remember the baseball we blinged out earlier? Well, it fits perfectly onto the shelf and I placed a little LED battery operated tea light inside. How cute is that? And here's a pineapple shaped glass tea light holder I made by placing plastic spoon pieces onto the rim of a round glass container. Inside I have a battery operated tea light glowing. And then here I have a little vase I made. The base is a napkin holder from the Dollar Tree, and on top of that I glued an empty clear snow globe, also from the Dollar Tree. Inside I just placed some faux greenery for a pop of color. How cute and pretty is that? If you enjoyed today's craft tutorial, please like and subscribe to my channel and share with other creative gems. Also remember to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I have another DIY glam project on my channel.